Hi, this is Abdul Aziz Khan, and I'm putting this video after a very long time. Basically, I was giving an MBA papers. So during papers, when I was making some data for one of the thesis report that I have to write, then I thought that maybe some kind of experience that I got while making the data for that specific report that I had to make. So I thought, why not I should share this with my fellow students, because I feel that a lot of students they lack the knowledge to automate things, and while learning some Python, which was, you can say, a passion of me, I mean, from before. So I was learning Python already, so feel that the Python is very good in doing some small kind of things to help you in very small things. So in this particular video, I will try to give you only a kind of idea that what can Python do for you. I will try to make a series of videos on Python, that what is Python, and what are the basics of it, and how it is useful for you. So in this you can say that it's kind of a introductory, or a kind of that I want to entice you guys to learn Python. So I will just let you know about a very small kind of usage. Like, let me go towards my own experience. For example, my supervisor, he asked me to get the data from investing.com, and hopefully some of you have used this website. And he asked me to get the data of more than hundreds of stock exchanges around the world. For example, if I talk about S&P 500, so we know that there are many S&P 500s in a lot of part of the world. I mean, like, for example, there's S&P 500 in USA, then there is S&P 500 in for example, in India, in many countries of the world. And you can have a historical data of S&P 500 from investing.com. If you go on historical data, so you can get the data, for example, for last many years. Right now, okay. So for example, here you can get the data for last many years. Like, you can go up to, or from here you can write a start date and end date, and then for example you need data for 5 years, and then you download the data. Now for example you download it and you get an Excel sheet, and this Excel sheet has the data of only one country, and this data has, for example, 500 rows. But now you need the same data for 200 different stock exchanges. So imagine that going to the site and getting the dates, start date and end date, then download a file, then make a query, then make a new file, then make a query, then make a new file. So and if you make any kind of mistake, or something is missed, or something happens which is not in your control because of any reason, I mean, so you need a lot of time to do it. The main thing was, it's very easy to get data from this site, but it takes a lot of time. So what I did is that there is a API for investing.com. So what I thought, and I used the API, and from the API I get the data, and then I added all the data over one and the other, and then I get the data for all hundreds of countries, and then that data was appended after every, I mean, for example, you get the data of the first country, then you append the data of the second country, and then that how you make a very large file, and then at the end you write that file as an Excel file. So if you can imagine, you are saved with a lot of work that you had to do offline. Your data is almost ready. If you have any particular requirements, then even you can do a lot of things on that data that we will try to learn in our next videos, hopefully. So let me go one by one. I mean, in I will not go in the detail of this first, but I will hopefully in my further lectures I will try to give some understanding of this. This is a Jupyter notebook. You can use it to make a small kind of Python uh, projects. It's very helpful. It's very easy. I will try to give a whole video. I will try to make a whole video only on this Jupyter notebook. So in this notebook we have cells, and we can use them individually, or we can put everything. Like for example, you can see this is a big line of codes, and this is written in a single cell. So whatever is in a cell, when you control and enter, or you run the cell, then that things are run for you. So here if you see on the first, I have imported InvestPy. I should make a bit bigger so that it's easy to see. So InvestPy is basically the library of Python which works with investing.com website. So I'm using InvestPy here, and then I'm using Pandas as PD. This is a typical way of using Pandas. Generally, all the IT guys, they use Pandas as PD because it's easy, because they have to use it maybe many times. So Pandas is a library of Python which deals with data frames. Whenever you have a table type of data or any type of data, but you want to use it as a table structure, then you use Pandas. You can manipulate the data, you can wrangle the data, you can do the for example, if you want to remove a column based on some condition, want to add a new column, you want to do some manipulation in a column, then everything you can do using Pandas. So as I said, that I will not go in a very much details, but just to give you some idea. I mean, right now this is I'm doing for another kind of project, but it's very similar. I want to get the historical data of these two companies. For example, this is OGDC and Maple Leaf Cement Factory. These are two securities which are listed in Pakistan Stock Exchange. But as I want to give you the idea, for example, even if I have 100 different companies and I want to do the same thing, whatever I'm doing, that for example, I want to extract their data of some specific dates, and I want to keep, or I want to gather all the data in a single Excel sheet, then all I have to do is that I have to just add these names of other companies. For example, if I add name of any more company here, for example, ICI, it has to be within brackets, so it will add ICI. But one thing, only catchy thing is that this name should be the exactly same name which is defined in the investing.com website. You can check it from here. For example, if you write ICI, you see there's ICI Pakistan, so it means ICI will also work. So I will add ICI also here. Now I will change nothing else, and this same code will add one more security for me. So whoever has any idea that if he want to get data of a lot of securities from investing.com, he can understand that what I'm doing. This data I'm using to make a blank data frame first. I have to append a lot of data in a single data frame. So I have to give a structure that, okay, the initial structure should be of what type, so that whenever Pandas will get a new data frame, it will add the data frame in the same structure. So here I have defined two variables. One is my name of stocks, that what stocks I want to retrieve, and the other is the structure of the final data frame, that how it will look like. So it will start from open, then high, then low, then close, then volume, stock, currency. I can even put something right or left as well, but currently let's go like that. I will shift control enter. So this is also now in, you can say that, okay, this part of program is also run. Now first I will define one data frame for the main data. Let me give you some idea as well, that what I am trying to do, so that you get some better idea. For example, I have made a kind of, if you try to understand it from Excel side, I have, on the Excel, I have defined only the column names. Assume that these are the column names. They start from open, and then we have the new column close, then high. So I hope you are getting some idea that what I'm doing here. Low, volume, currency. So in this way I have a blank, you can say the lower rows are all empty. Whenever this Python will get a data frame, it will get some data, for example, data for the first, for example, like we have OGDC. So OGDC data will come here. It will put all the data here. Then, for example, it will go and get the data of the next one, MPLF. So MPLF data will be pasted below this. Then it will get the third data, for example, ICI. So ICI data will go. I hope this is more understandable for you, that this is how then we will make this data frame. It will have all the rows, and then we will make a Excel file out of it, and that file will be used in our further data analysis. So this df1 was the blank data frame that I showed you here. This blank one was, you can say that this was df1. This whole blank was df1. And now what I did is I make a for loop. This for loop will start putting each stock one by one. For example, in the first iteration, it will get, the j will get the value of OGDC. Now I will define another data frame, because this is a main data frame, and then this data frame should have this df should have the data of OGDC first, and then this df here, it will have the data of MPLF, and then this df here, it will have the data of ICI. So these data frames, they will put data in the main, you can say, the umbrella data frame 1. So I will get a data frame, and here this is, you can say, the API call. This is the API that I am calling. The API is how you access a website from outside. For example, I'm sitting on my computer. From here, if I want to get the data from investing.com website, I have two options. One option I showed you here, that I go to investing.com website, and then I put my values, like the dates I put here, the exact. I told him that okay, I want data from this. For example, if I go to again ICI, I will go to ICI page, and then I will have to go through again to historical data. It's a bit slow. Then after going to historical data, uh, again I will have to change the dates. From here I have to tell it the dates, and then I will have to download data. The data will become as a single file. Then I have to copy that data and I have to put in another file, because I want to append all the data one by one. So I will have to do a lot of manual work, and even here on the website I have to do a lot of work. So I am saving myself from all these works. So I'm calling the InvestPy API. Here for stock, I'm giving him the value of J. The J is like, for example, here in the first iteration, J will be OGDC. It will take the data of OGDC. Country is fixed. Country is Pakistan. I can give any two dates, start date, end date. And then, because when this data will be downloaded, the only problem is that the data will not have the stock name. Whenever InvestPy give you, because you are giving the stock name yourself, so whenever you are giving it this kind of API, the resultant don't have the stock name. But the problem is that, as I show you, I will copy these one by one. So if I don't have a stock name as a field, then it will be impossible for me to recognize later that okay, which data goes to which field. So when this API will give me this data frame, I will insert the stock name again. I will put the stock name back in the. So this is the beauty of, you can say that, for example, if I had to do it manually, then whenever I download one file, I will have to manually put the name of the stock as well. So this thing will be automatically done by Python. And now I will save the file twice. Just for my personal reason, just to show you also the power of Python. What I will do is that I will save the actual file separately as well, and I will save it as part of the main file as well. So you can say that, for example, the OGDC will be saved by its name, a file of OGDC, and the data of OGDC will be appended in the main file as well. This is just to show you. It's not needed, but sometimes you need to submit both type of data. You need to submit individual stocks, and you need to submit the aggregated file as well. If you don't need the individual file, then you can just ignore this one, but it's up to you. And also, if you want to do any kind of changes, for example, if you go through this line, if you want to do, for example, I wanted to make a kind of change, that how much change occurred during the day, and for changing I had put one formula. But if you don't want to do these kind of things, then you can neglect it for the time being. But if you want to do, then maybe in my next any video, because I want to make the video short as well, and it's taking a lot of time. So you can do a lot of, you can say that, data wrangling or data manipulation as well. So what it will do is that this is a kind of file name, this is the path of my own directory. In this path I want to add it in another folder that I just created. So this will add this file name with the name of the stock. This %J is telling us that okay, because J is the stock name, so add this file with the name of this stock. And then this df to excel is a very simple Excel formula. This formula will take this data frame and use the file name and save the data frame in Excel format. I will just run it and I will show you. And here the next one, this is, we have put a df1 as a blank data frame. So this one will just append the data in the data frame. I will show you here. This is my subdirectory YTV, if you see it. So right now this is blank. There is nothing in it. I will run this code and then we will see that the file should start coming. So let me run this and let's go here, and you see the files started. So we have now 3 files. This is ICI. You can see that this is the output of uh, the investing API, and this has added the stock name as the last column. So here you can see I will call it as the power of Python. I mean, whatever we had to do, you can understand that doing this thing through this website should take a lot of time. And just by running a simple line of codes, we will, inshallah, in my next video, we will go in the detail of these codes, that how these codes should be working. But just to let you know that this has made the thing very easy. Even if I had the name of 100 files here, within 2-3 months, it will bring me all the stocks one by one. And here as the last step, this df1 is also prepared and it is in the memory. I will just run this one. So this last one will also be converted in a Excel file and it should be pasted. Let me run it and let me go here and I will show you in a minute. We will no, it was control enter, and you see this file is also created. And if you see this file, this has all the stocks, like it has OGDC and then MPLF, you see this, and then at the end there is ICI. So I have all 3 files combined as a single file. So this was what I wanted to tell to you guys. I wanted to convey to you guys that this is what something that Python can do to automate your small tasks. I hope this should be, you can say that this should be a kind of understanding for you, that how you can use small Python code and automate some of your required things, which generally takes a lot of time. So see you in my next video. Goodbye.